Right now, at this very moment, something is building inside your arteries, layer by layer, week by week, year by year. It's called plaque, and it's slowly narrowing the pathways that keep your heart beating and your brain alive. And here's what terrifies me as a cardiologist. Most people over 50 have it, most don't know it, and most believe the only solution is a lifetime of statin medications. But that's not the complete truth. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you what the pharmaceutical industry doesn't want discussed openly. A way to reverse arterial plaque naturally, without statins, using methods backed by peer-reviewed research but rarely explained to patients. If you're over 50 and you've been told your only option is medication, this message could change everything. My name is Dr. Charles Bennett, and I've spent decades studying cardiovascular health in adults over 50. I've watched thousands of patients receive the same script: high cholesterol, high calcium score, blocked arteries. Here's your statin. Take it forever. And yes, statins work for many people. They lower LDL cholesterol. They reduce inflammation. They save lives. I prescribe them when necessary. But here's what most doctors won't take the time to explain. Statins are not the only tool. They are one tool. And for some patients, they come with side effects: muscle pain, liver stress, memory issues, fatigue. And even on statins, plaque can still progress if the underlying causes are not addressed. So the question becomes, is there another way? Can you actually reverse plaque buildup naturally? And the answer, according to growing scientific evidence, is yes. But it requires understanding what plaque actually is and why it forms in the first place. Let me explain this clearly. Plaque is not just cholesterol stuck to your artery walls like grease in a pipe. It's far more complex. Plaque formation begins with damage. Your artery lining, called the endothelium, becomes injured. This injury can be caused by high blood pressure, high blood sugar, inflammation, smoking, oxidative stress. Once the lining is damaged, your body tries to repair it. LDL cholesterol particles enter the damaged area. White blood cells arrive to clean up. But if the damage keeps happening, the repair process becomes chronic. The cholesterol oxidizes, becoming toxic to surrounding tissue. The immune cells, called macrophages, gorge themselves on this oxidized cholesterol and transform into foam cells. These foam cells cannot escape. They die and release their contents, creating a fatty core. Calcium deposits form around this core like armor. Scar tissue builds. This becomes a plaque, a hardened, inflamed blockage that narrows your arteries and restricts blood flow. And here's the critical part. If you only lower cholesterol without addressing the underlying damage, you're treating the symptom, not the cause. The artery is still inflamed, the endothelium is still injured. The plaque may stabilize, but it doesn't fully reverse. Now, let me tell you about a patient I treated 5 years ago. His name was David. He was 62 years old, a retired engineer. He came to me with a calcium score of over 400, which indicates significant plaque buildup. His cardiologist had prescribed a high-dose statin. David took it for 6 months. His cholesterol dropped. But his muscle pain became unbearable. He couldn't exercise. He felt exhausted. He asked me, "Is there any other way?" I told him the truth. Yes, but it requires discipline. We designed a protocol, no statins. Just lifestyle intervention, targeted nutrition, and specific supplements. 1 year later, we repeated his imaging. His plaque had not progressed. In some areas, it had reduced. His inflammation markers dropped by 60%. His energy returned. He's now 67, still active, still plaque stable, and he hasn't touched a statin in 5 years. So, what did David do? Let me break it down step by step, because this is the protocol that research supports and that I've seen work in real patients. This is the natural plaque reversal system. Step 1, eliminate inflammatory foods completely. Inflammation is the match that lights the fire. Without controlling inflammation, nothing else works. The biggest inflammatory triggers in the modern diet are refined sugar, trans fats, excessive omega-6 oils, and highly processed carbohydrates. These foods damage your endothelium, oxidize LDL cholesterol, and accelerate plaque formation. You must remove them. No negotiation. That means no packaged snacks, no fried foods, no sugary drinks, no white bread or pastries. If it comes in a box with a long ingredient list, it's likely inflammatory. Your arteries don't care if it tastes good. They respond to biochemical signals. Remove the signal, reduce the damage. Step 2. Flood your system with anti-inflammatory whole foods. This is where healing begins. Your diet should center around vegetables, especially leafy greens like spinach, kale, arugula. Aim for at least 2 cups daily. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, which contain sulforaphane, a compound that activates your body's detoxification systems. Berries, especially blueberries and blackberries, which are rich in polyphenols that protect the endothelium. 1 cup per day minimum. Fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel, loaded with omega-3 fatty acids that reduce arterial inflammation. 3 to 4 servings per week is ideal. Nuts, particularly walnuts and almonds. Olive oil, the cornerstone of the Mediterranean diet, which has been shown in multiple studies to reduce cardiovascular events. Garlic, which has natural anti-plaque properties. Legumes like lentils and chickpeas, and whole grains like oats and quinoa. This is not a diet. This is a healing protocol. Every meal is either feeding inflammation or fighting it. Step 3. Targeted supplementation. Now, I'm not selling supplements. I'm explaining what the research shows. Certain nutrients have been proven to support endothelial health and reduce plaque progression. Omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA, reduce triglycerides and stabilize plaques. The dose matters. Studies suggest 2 to 4 grams daily for therapeutic effect. Vitamin K2, which helps remove calcium from arteries and deposit it into bones where it belongs. Magnesium, which relaxes blood vessels and supports healthy blood pressure. Coenzyme Q10, especially if you've ever taken statins, because statins deplete CoQ10, leading to muscle pain and fatigue. Bergamot extract, a citrus compound shown to lower LDL and raise HDL naturally. And aged garlic extract, which multiple studies have linked to plaque reduction. I'm not saying take all of these. I'm saying work with a knowledgeable doctor to identify what your body needs based on your labs and your history. Step 4. Move your body intelligently. Exercise is non-negotiable, but the type matters. You don't need to run marathons. You need consistent moderate activity that improves circulation, reduces inflammation, and strengthens your heart. The gold standard is 30 to 45 minutes of brisk walking, 5 days per week. Add resistance training twice per week to maintain muscle mass and improve insulin sensitivity. Yoga or stretching to reduce stress and improve vascular flexibility. Exercise increases nitric oxide production, which keeps your arteries relaxed and healthy. It also raises HDL, the good cholesterol that clears plaque. One study showed that patients who combined diet with regular exercise reduced plaque burden by 10% in just 1 year. No medication required. Step 5. Sleep and stress management. This is the part most people ignore. Chronic stress raises cortisol, which raises blood pressure, which damages arteries. Poor sleep disrupts blood sugar regulation, increases inflammation, and accelerates aging. If you sleep less than 6 hours per night, your cardiovascular risk doubles. If you live in constant stress, your body stays in fight or flight mode, and your arteries pay the price. You must prioritize 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep. Practice stress reduction, whether that's meditation, breathing exercises, or simply spending time in nature. Your arteries heal during rest. If you never rest, they never heal. Step 6. Monitor and adjust. This is not guesswork. You need data. Get a baseline lipid panel, including LDL particle size, triglycerides, HDL, and ApoB. Measure inflammatory markers like hs-CRP. Check your fasting insulin and HbA1c to assess metabolic health. Your target should be LDL under 100, ideally under 70 for high-risk patients. Triglycerides under 100, HDL above 50 for men, above 60 for women. hs-CRP under 1 points row. Fasting insulin under 5. If possible, get a coronary calcium score or carotid ultrasound to measure plaque directly. Then, after 6 months of following this protocol, retest. You'll see the numbers change, triglycerides drop, HDL rises, inflammation markers fall. And in many cases, plaque progression stops or even reverses. I've seen it hundreds of times. Now, let me address the elephant in the room. Why don't doctors talk about this more openly? The truth is complex. First, changing diet and lifestyle is hard. It requires time, education, and patient commitment. Writing a prescription takes 30 seconds. Teaching someone how to reverse plaque naturally takes 30 minutes. Most doctors don't have that time. Second, the pharmaceutical industry funds most of the research, most of the conferences, and much of medical education. Statins are a multi-billion-dollar industry. Natural interventions don't generate profit. Third, many doctors simply aren't trained in nutritional medicine. Medical school teaches pharmacology, not food as medicine. So, the default becomes medication. I'm not saying statins are evil. I'm saying they're not the only answer. And for patients willing to do the work, natural reversal is possible. Let me share one more story. A woman named Margaret came to me at age 58. She had a family history of heart disease. Her father died of a heart attack at 60. She was terrified. Her LDL was 210. Her doctor wanted her on statins immediately. But Margaret had watched her mother suffer severe side effects from statins, and she wanted to try another way first. I told her, "You have 6 months. If the numbers don't improve, we reconsider medication." She followed the protocol exactly. She eliminated sugar, processed foods, and vegetable oils. She ate salmon 3 times per week. She walked every morning. She took omega-3s, vitamin K2, and magnesium. She slept 8 hours. She meditated daily. 6 months later, her LDL dropped to 140. Her triglycerides fell from 220 to 95. Her HDL rose from 38 to 52. Her inflammation markers were the lowest I'd ever seen in her chart. No statins, just discipline. Today she's 64, and her arteries are healthier than they were 6 years ago. Here's what I need you to understand. Your arteries are not static. They are living tissue. They respond to what you eat, how you move, how you sleep, and how you manage stress. Plaque formation is not irreversible fate. It's a process, and processes can be interrupted, slowed, and in many cases, reversed. You don't need a miracle drug. You need the right information and the courage to apply it consistently. So here's your action plan starting today. Week 1, eliminate all processed foods, sugar, and fried foods. Read every label. If you can't pronounce the ingredients, don't eat it. Week 2, build your meals around vegetables, fatty fish, nuts, olive oil, and berries. Make every meal anti-inflammatory. Week 3, start moving. 30 minutes of walking daily, no exceptions. Week 4, optimize sleep. Set a bedtime. Turn off screens 1 hour before sleep. Create a dark, cool bedroom. Month 2, add targeted supplements after consulting with a doctor. Month 3, retest your labs. Compare the numbers. See the proof. You may experience resistance. Your body is addicted to sugar and convenience. You may feel tired in the first 2 weeks. You may crave the foods you've eliminated. This is normal. It's withdrawal. But studies show that after 30 days, cravings drop by 70%. Energy stabilizes. Sleep improves. And most importantly, your arteries begin to heal. You don't need perfection. You need consistency. A 90-10 rule works. Eat clean 90% of the time. Allow flexibility without guilt 10% of the time. Before you leave, I want you to do something powerful. If this information gave you hope, like this video. Subscribe for science-based heart protection after 50. Comment, "I'm reversing plaque naturally starting today." And please share this with someone you love. You might never know whose heart you protect. Your arteries are not beyond repair. You are not too old. You are not too far gone. The body wants to heal. You just have to give it the right conditions. I'm Dr. Charles Bennett. Thank you for taking your health seriously. I'll see you in the next video, and your heart will thank you for years to come.